It only takes him a few minutes on foot to reach the chapel, and inside he finds the Green Knight sitting at the altar, but he's asleep. Gawain sits in front of him, and after putting down the axe, he waits. On Christmas morning, the Green Knight finally awakes. He grabs the axe and announces they'll finish the game, for which Gawain must kneel to receive the same blow he threw last year. Gawain kneels as asked, but when the Green Knight raises his axe, Gawain's so scared that he flinches. The knight teases him for it since he had a whole year to be ready for this moment, thus Gawain takes a moment to gather courage and asks him to try again. The Green Knight raises his axe once more, but Gawain still can't help himself and moves away. He wonders if the game truly is just this, and when the Green Knight confirms, Gawain kneels again, only to move away when the axe comes for him. Refusing to die so soon, Gawain runs away, and as he crosses the forest he's surprised to find his horse. Sometime later, Gawain returns to the city and reunites with his mother, who immediately takes care of his wounds. Afterward Gawain visits Essel, who is sad to see her belle is gone. The two of them get frisky together, but Gawain never takes off the girdle. A few days later, Gawain is called to the castle because the king doesn't have much time left. With the last of his strength, the king finally knights Gawain and gifts him his precious sword. After the king's death, Gawain becomes the new monarch, which seems to have been his mother's plan all along. 9 months later, Essel gives birth to Gawain's son. Gawain still doesn't marry her though, he just shows up to pick up the baby, and he leaves after leaving some money for the bawdy house without caring about leaving a devastated Essel behind. A year later, Gawain marries a noblewoman, and on their wedding night, he doesn't allow her to take off his girdle. They fulfill their marital duties, but Gawain doesn't find them as satisfying as it was with Essel. Years pass and the kingdom gets involved in a war. Gawain decides to start training his child as a knight, but as soon as the boy becomes of age, he dies in battle. The consequences of this war change the citizens' opinions of Gawain, and he becomes a hated leader that gets stones thrown at. Essel hates him even more now because her son is dead, but at least the queen gives birth to a new heir. A few years later, the castle is under siege, and Gawain is abandoned by everyone.